Hello, 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 hello. How are we doing? It's 7 p.m. in my neck of the wood, and it's time to connect. It's great to see everybody here. It's, I believe, the second Sunday in the month of October, and I am absolutely excited to have everybody joining us on the platforms that we're on today, LinkedIn and YouTube. Thank you for joining us wherever it is that you're joining us from. Again, I have to repeat this. My sincere apologies to all those that have been waiting for us to go live on Facebook, but I can assure you by the first week of November, we will be live on Facebook. That's because of the protocol of live streaming. It's changed from the way it used to be a few years ago. And so there's certain conditions and a time period that we need to meet up with that allows us to be able to stream live from our virtual studio. So we really can't wait to have you join us. Thank you so much for joining us. I trust everybody has been doing pretty well. Last Sunday we had a blast where we started off something that we're taking a break from this week. But last Sunday we started off something, having a conversation around purpose over pressure, purpose over pressure, and I I I did the opening, got it open, and we will be continuing with that next week. Quite a lot of lessons. If you missed it, I want you to go back to my LinkedIn profile or my YouTube page and catch the replay. It's there. I'm not deleting it. We're not taking it off the shelf. It's right there, and you can get to be a part of it. This week promises to be absolutely amazing. And right now, I want you to get on the link. I want you to share the link to as many people as you can on all your platforms. Do share the link and get everybody that you're going to have a conversation that centers on the way that you live and the way that you work. All right. Remember, we started the series with the future of work. Guess what? We're going straight into the conversation about cybersecurity. This is one conversation you don't want to miss. So I'm doing the check on our dashboards right now to be sure that I can be heard and to be sure that our visuals are the way that they should. So if you can hear me clearly, if you can see me clearly, do post a comment in the comment section or the chat section of wherever it is that you're reaching us from. All right, wherever it is that you're reaching us from, and then we will attend to that. Yes, so I'm doing a check on my dashboard to be sure that everybody is in sync. Oh, goodness, it promises to be an amazing episode. So, like I said, get the link, share it with everyone. All right, everybody that's all right, everybody that you can be, um, everybody that you really want to be a part of this. All right, so just a few minutes. Okay, all right, so I'm starting this conversation going on. So first of all, how has your week been? I mean, this is literally the 12th day of October. It's amazing how these days run on steroids, and you're wondering how on earth, how in heaven's name do we even begin to run this thing? How how do the days run so fast? How are we just flying from one to the next? How is this even happening? And it's just fascinating, right? And I remember saying last week that this is the first month of the last quarter of the year. And so this is a very critical month of the year. Why? It's the month where, number one, you get to be able to have deep reflections of what the year has been like. Number two, you get to be able to begin to position yourself so that you can finish strong. And number three, you get to position yourself so you can start 2026 right. So it's very critical and very important. And everything in this last quarter to be very intentional. It's very high impact, and it's something that you really salt on. So I am going to be going straight into the conversation of today. Today we're having a conversation around cybersecurity, and it's one that I find really, 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 really interested. Now, why do I think this is something I find very interesting? Because there's just so much that has happened over the past many years, and everybody has gotten, everybody's become internet savvy. Everybody's been doing a lot of stuff, work, leisure, pleasure on the web, on the internet, on the cyber world, and then in there. So the cyber world is literally an everyday part of your life, right? Um, but the issue is that over time, as I've come to see, that while we are living our lives online, our awareness as to how best to protect ourselves hasn't quite caught up. And that's the truth. The fact that something hasn't happened to you, a lot of people rather, is not because you were very intentional about securing yourself in the cyberspace. It was just because for some reason or the other, you are yet to come under attack. and that is very true. So somebody said something that I found very interesting. Said, look, work has changed. Everything, the future of work has changed, right? So the gates man, security man, the concept of a security man in today's world, cyber security man. I'm going to be having this conversation alone, right? I have a guest who's joining me for the first time. He's his first time on the Connect. And incidentally, it's going to be running a program event towards the end of this month, which incidentally is the Cyber Security Awareness Month. So there's actually a drive to we're all aware of in the cybersecurity space. There's actually that drive in recognition of the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and also to discuss pertinent issues surrounding cybersecurity and all that that we need to know. And it's important that we know, because ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is deadly. It's costly. You could lose your whole life. You could lose everything that you've worked for. You could, if you simply just open the door to all sorts. What exactly is going on? What is cybersecurity exactly about? Why are so many people apprehensive when they hear the word security? Why is it such a high, fast-paced, demanding career or job? Why is it so lucrative? What exactly is it about cybersecurity that at this time that wasn't a few years ago? Why is it all of a sudden a buzzword for 12 years now and stuff? Why is it such a big deal? I have a guest who's joining me today, and the individual who's joining me is a dear friend of mine. It's someone, like I said, is his first time to the Connect, someone that I have immense respect for. He's a cybersecurity specialist, and I'm going to be, looking a bit at his bio, which I'll be reading out shortly. All right. Our guest today is an entrepreneur specialist with extensive experience in cybersecurity and technology consulting. All right. He has worked with leading organizations in the United Kingdom and in Nigeria, including Oxford University Hospitals and Ask for Internet Broadband Services. Certified in SANS Cybersecurity Awareness, Incident Response Management, and Blockchain Security. He regularly speaks on cybersecurity. It's also as the lead. All right. Let me get this. Is also as I'm gonna have his bio. All right, awesome. So we have his bio right there. All right, okay. So as the lead consultant of Triltech Integrated Systems, my guest drives enterprise IT solutions and digital skill development. He has collaborated with a number of hubs within and outside of Nigeria and participated in major security conferences. A member of CSEAN, his passion for cybersecurity fuels technology growth initiatives across Nigeria. Someone that has been honored to work on a number of platforms side by side with, and he's joining us for the first time on the Connect. So, if virtual hands, put your hands together. Even make one. I'm waiting for him to put on his camera so that when I know that he's ready for me to bring him into the studio, we bring him in. Let's put our cyber hands together and welcome Van Ike Onwosu. Ike,
hi, hey you.
To have you join me.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Ike, it's your first time to the Connect, right?
Wow.
It's your first time to
yeah. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really excited to be here as well.
Amazing. So before we get into our conversation, there's a question that has maybe over the last 5 years, the Connect is 5 years, now running towards the 6th year. And there's a question for many years that we've been asking first timers on the show, regardless of what the subject matter is. And the question is this: Ike, what are you thankful for?
Oh, wow. First of all, I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for being alive today. A lot has been happening, a lot of people that we started the year with, we're no longer with them. I don't know about you, but I have some people that I started the year with, but unfortunately, they are not here. So I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for the ability to be able to, forge ahead despite everything going on around us in the country, around the world. I'm thankful for that. God has been faithful. He has made it possible for, regardless of everything that's been happening, I'm thankful for being part of those who can actually wake up in the morning, move around, do what I need to do, make some money and all that. So I'm really, really grateful. That's what I'm thankful for, most especially.
Amazing. It's great for you. Because, I always do, and we do that. We do that because it's our little role here on the Connect to help people stay thankful. So whatever way that I can trigger gratitude, whatever way that I can get you to just do a pause from, okay, so you're here for the Connect, you expect to get into the conversation. And so what I did was just press a pause button, get you to trigger and act as a catalyst, to trigger gratitude. And then it just sets the tone for the rest. And it's our contribution to the humanity to just have as many grateful and people as possible. And I think it's an amazing thing. Thing.
Definitely.
So it is Cybersecurity Awareness Week, and it's very interesting. Matter was that as at the time that we were planning towards this, I didn't even have the realization that it was Cybersecurity Awareness Week. So this is obviously in sync with or without my knowing or my consciousness.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Exactly.
We are. And a lot is happening. But I want us to take this conversation from the nitty-gritty, from the very base. I remember having a conversation with you this morning, and we were talking about, look, how people have just become so. You have two people. You either have people that hear cybersecurity and are very excited, or you hear people that hear cybersecurity and are very apprehensive. And there's really no gray area between these two. There's nobody that sits on the fence. People, and the people that are very excited, usually they say, "Wow, it's really like the fastest thing going on right now. It's like one of the most creative areas to be in right now. It's one of the most, and all of that. And then you have a bunch of people that, when they think about it, they don't and for a lot of those folks, what they don't understand, and just because they don't understand it, it has to be a bad thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Because a lot of people just don't understand what it is. Yes,
it has to be a bad thing. So we're going to take this from the nitty-gritty. So I'm curious to know, not just me, but I mean, for the sake of people listening, people that will get to watch this video, this recording, let's start with the very baseline. What is cybersecurity? We take it on to why now? What is it about now? How come it was not a conversation in 1985? How come this was not a conversation in 1995? what exactly is going on. But I think a good place to start would just be the very simple question: what in God's name is cybersecurity?
Yeah, that's actually the place to start. And anyone that hasn't heard of cybersecurity or is just hearing about it would want to know what is it actually. So I'll start from there. The name cybersecurity, if you look at it, we can break it into two. Cyber, which everybody knows it has to do with the internet, gadgets, IT, and the rest. And then security, which is more for protecting anything. Security is all about protecting stuffs. So when the two come together, what we are looking at is a way to protect our presence, one, our access, two, and the infrastructure that we use when it comes to IT. So that's what cybersecurity is all about. So look at it this way. Gadgets are all over the place now. We use all sorts of gadgets to do different things. The most common gadget that everybody has and everybody's familiar with is our mobile phones. That's one of the greatest inventions that we have in the world now. So when you think about your gadgets, for example, your mobile phone and what it can do for you, you just wonder, where was it all these years, that you've been surviving. But now think about staying a day without your mobile phone. I don't know if you agree with me, that day will be a horrible day because you just feel like something is missing. And because it's so important to us, gadgets are so important to us, our mobile phones are important, our laptops are important, our smart devices, watch, and all that are important. It's also very important to the bad guys because these guys are the people who just want to exploit anything exploitable. And because they are technically inclined, there know ways that they can exploit technical devices like your gadgets, your phones, your laptops. And that's where cybersecurity comes in. So cybersecurity, um, if you look at it, the first and foremost aspect of cybersecurity is to create an awareness that, like what we are having now, this conversation we're having now, that it's possible for your gadgets to be exploited by the wrong people. It's possible for your gadgets to be, let me use the word hack, to be hacked by the wrong guys. So that's where we start from, that awareness. Because, like you said earlier, a lot of people are not even aware that cybersecurity exists, that the concept of cybersecurity exists. So that awareness is very important. Then, when you are aware, what do you do about it? Cybersecurity also covers that. When you are aware that this happens, what do you actually do about it? So that's also an aspect of cybersecurity. What you do to protect those your gadgets, to protect those devices that you use that are very dear to you. Then when you protect them, or when you do what you need to do to protect them, how do you keep them protected? Because technology keeps evolving, and as it keeps evolving, the techniques that we have today to protect these devices, in the next 1 week or 1 month, those techniques may be outdated. Something else would come up. The bad guys are always out there looking for ways to get into your devices, to get into organizations' infrastructure. So how do you keep, keep yourself updated as well in terms of protecting those your devices? Data security is also about making sure that people know the rules. So I could say the do's and don'ts of the internet, because for all this to come together, there is one common back end or one common connector. The common connector that makes cyber threats or cyber attacks possible is most times is usually the internet, because internet is global. Everybody is literally connected in using the internet. So the internet is an easy medium for these bad guys that I talked about to get into your devices, because we're all connected. So we're all happy that it's a connected world. But at the end of the day, there's also the downside whereby anybody, anywhere can connect to you. So as I'm sure as the conversation progresses today, I'll speak more about a lot more other things as the conversation progresses. Hello, EU, are you there?
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me now. I'm sorry, I had a bit of a disruption. So I had to leave the studio. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Please confirm that you can. Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yes,
fantastic.
I can hear you.
So
I can hear you.
Maybe I wasn't meant to hear your response to what security was, but hey, you know what? Because you were talking while I got yanked out, and all of that. But I take it that you've done great justice to that. But you know what? My understanding is that cybersecurity is about protection of someone's digital space or digital life and everything in that space, whether it's data, whether it's your devices, your identity, and of course, most certainly your money. You know, it's stuff. My question is, and I don't know if you had spoken to this, all right, whilst you were responding. I don't know if you've spoken to this. My question again is, why now? I mean, truth of the matter is that it's not like mankind or humanity just started having a digital life. It's like we haven't been on the internet for a good time. But it has never, the clamor around cybersecurity and cyber and data protection has never been this strong. Never been this strong. And so my question is, why now? Before we move to other things. Again, forgive me if you've spoken to that. You might probably just have to repeat it because I didn't hear it, and I really would like to hear your take on it. That's very important to me. So, why now, Ike? Why now?
Okay, yeah. I spoke a little bit about that in the response to the first question, but I'm going to link some other things to it as well, so I can elaborate. So, why now? That's the question. The reason is because I said this earlier. The reason is because we are all connected. We are now in a connected world. All of us are all connected, using our phones, using social media, using different formats, you know. And I also said that the internet is a common thing that binds all of us. All of us globally are connected using the internet. And then another reason is because there is a lot that we share over the internet. There is a lot of data that is generated. Even within our personal devices, there's a lot of data that is generated. We now have everything at the palm of our hands. We have apps in our phones, apps that we can just with the press of a button, we can send $100 million. Okay, so once we do that, once we know that that is possible, then we should know that cybersecurity is very, 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 very important. First, as a way of you being aware of what you need to know. So, for example, we're in the era of digital currency, for example. So we have our cryptocurrency, we have different kinds of cryptocurrency. Now, if someone knows that you have an app on your phone, what they normally call the wallet, your crypto wallet, and they know that you know once they are able to get access to that your wallet, then it means that they can move money out of your wallet into wherever they want to, wherever they want it to go. Then that your device becomes a target. So all these are some of the things that make cybersecurity very important, because like I said when I was defining cybersecurity is all about protecting.
Forgive me for interjecting, and truly I will be doing this from time to time, so forgive me in advance. So what I hear you say, Ike, is this is like collateral damage for technological advancement. The fact that we now have access to technology advancement. I mean, these are the things we have to suffer. I mean, it's there's the
Exactly.
expansion
Yeah.
of exposure has significantly increased. That's what I hear you say. By
Yeah.
virtue of the very things that we welcome and by virtue of the very things that we celebrate. So on one hand is
Yeah.
technology advancement. On another hand, the things and the wahala that comes with it. And we can't
Yeah.
wish it away. Yeah, because we can't wish it away. So the essence of this conversation is how then do we mitigate it, minimize it, and protect ourselves from it. Now, before you go on, let me throw something in. I also want you to talk on because obviously this cuts across two broad spectrum. Number one, personal, and you already started talking about that with people, even your bank apps, your different wallets, and all of that, right? And then organizational, which is very key because I mean you have all sorts of organizational data. You have your client data, you have customer, you have your war room. All right, for those that are strategists,
Yeah.
understand that you have your war room data. There's a concept I heard very, very interesting. It's called cyber hygiene, and I don't know what for the love of me. The first time I heard that thing, I was tickled. It has never left my mind. Cyber hygiene.
Yeah.
How I find it very curious. How do we stay
Yeah.
clean? How do we maintain great cyber? So you're going to take it from personal before we switch to organizational, right?
Okay.
How maintain great personal cyber hygiene and then maintain great corporate or organizational cyber hygiene. Okay.
Okay. Yes, that's a great question. It goes back to what I was talking about when it has to do um, with awareness, because at the end of the day, cybersecurity is all about hygiene, whether at the personal level or at the organizational level. So, if I look at it from the personal level, what I can tell you is that I said it earlier, one of the closest um, cyber device that we have in our life is our mobile phones. Okay, I always use that because that's the one everybody can relate to. Okay, we also use emails. A lot of us use emails. So why I'm mentioning this is because I want to really drill down into the personal cyber hygiene before I go into organizational. So emails, for example, if you are very active with emails, a lot of things flow through your email. A lot of it could be confidential. A lot of it could relate to your financial details and all that. So, but when it comes to personal hygiene, everybody has to be an investigator. Everybody has to have that intuition that the world has changed, right? There's somebody out there who's just looking at a way to get hold of your personal data, to get hold of access to your personal device. So the moment you have that at the back of your mind, you've already started working on your personal hygiene. So automatically, what kicks in is your phone, for example. How do you make sure that it's secured? Thank God they gave us authentication methods in our phones. Okay. So, but you need to understand that putting a password alone on your phone is not just enough. So, there are multiple authentication methods. So, you need to enable all of this on your phone. For example, fingerprints. For example, you can have your PIN, your fingerprint. Some even use their facial recognition. So, those are cyber hygiene. So, you need to understand that there are methods that are at your disposal to actually make sure that you're secure. So, for example, again, when it comes to the email, there's something we call social engineering. I don't know if you've heard of that before. Social engineering. So, what does that mean? It's more like a way to manipulate someone to do what you want them to do on the internet or using cyber devices. That's social engineering. So social engineering has a lot to do with somebody sitting down somewhere, studying you, or studying you. Let's put it that way. Studying you, and then looking for a way to craft something that they can use and deceive you to perform an action online. So that's social engineering. So that's why they say some of these things we get in our mail that they call spam news.
That's like somebody profiling you.
Yeah. You can call it profiling. Maybe not on a very high level, but it could just be someone somewhere who's just there are different ways that is done. Sometimes it's targeted. That's where someone could actually
All right, so we seem to be having a bit of a network issue from.
Okay.
I can hear you now. There was a bit of a break, but please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I was saying that there are two ways that it can be done. I'm still on the social engineering part. So there are two ways that it can be done. It can be targeted social engineering or random social engineering. So the targeted could be like, okay, this guy is, for example, an MD in a bank. So he's a high profile target. Okay. So we need to look for ways to get access to this guy. He's a high profile person. So what do? They start looking at ways to get access to you. They may not come to you directly, but they could come to you through your secretary, for example, through your PA, through someone close to you, through their emails, crafting emails that can give the wrong instruction for so amount of money to be withdrawn from the company account, okay, for so amount of permission to be given for something to be done. So that's more like on the organizational part, but it also explains the targeted social engineering that I'm talking about, okay? So, but when you look at the random social engineering is just like people who find their way to craft maybe I'll call it emails, for example, from banks, which are not really from the banks.
So
and they push those emails out
to me.
On email.
It seems to me like we now have fancy names for fraud, right? It seems like we have great lexicon for fraud, because that's where social engineering means send you a mail and you think it's one of your stakeholders that send. That's identity misrepresentation. I mean that's
is it.
Intent to defraud. That's misrepresentation, and a whole lot of that. Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Again,
that is where it is.
That's what it is now, because it still ties into the profile where they know who you are. They probably have seen what you do online to a certain aspect. Then again, so the conversation now dovetails to what exactly are we doing online? How much of ourselves are we really exposing online, right? How much information are we putting out there that we don't think matters, but it's a dot connecting to another dot that is creating a whole narrative concerning us that can help somebody, be able to find an access point to us. And this is really what the conversation is about, because when you think about it, it's sometimes I hear people talk about how they got certain emails from. It's not like I don't get those emails sometimes from someone somewhere. Oh, I wanted you doctorate degree. I didn't ask for a honorary doctorate degree. I don't want a honorary doctorate degree. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want it. Hey, okay, click on this. Click on this to, and I'm wondering what's going on. So stories, of people that have gotten these mails, lost money, and I'm wondering how. But then again, this thing is not far from home, and I'm saying this because I just want you to spotlight on that as well, because people need to hear this. For someone, this might just be the very reason why they're watching this episode. It is not. No, in fact, let me just leave you to, just let I'll come back to this, but let me let you have your thoughts on this. I have enough to say.
Okay. I can tell, and it's actually on point. So when we talk about, that's why I try to separate this social engineering. So I talked about the targeted one, and then I talked about the random one. So the scenario you just painted is more like random. They may not know who you are, but they know the things that could appeal to someone. Okay, sometimes they use demographics. Africans are usually they are more prone to going for things that are easy to get, free, and in terms of status. I'm sorry, I'm an African, but that's just how it is.
Do you know
Okay,
why I'm laughing? Do you know
and
why I'm laughing?
it's
Do you know why I'm laughing
yeah,
like it? Because there was something I wanted to talk about
no,
and I've
no,
been holding myself back on. And you literally just pushed me to it. So I'm gonna say it, then leave you to continue. Forgive me. I warned you already that I'll continue
okay,
from time to time. What's your take on
yeah,
you know how we are? You get to airports and you see free Wi-Fi and you jump
mm-hmm,
on it.
mm-hmm,
Talk to us about that. Because a lot is going on there. So Wi-Fi, free
mm-hmm,
Wi-Fi, public place. You're great. Ah, fantastic.
yeah,
Internet. Let's go. Talk about
free, free, free. That is it. That's the free I talked about. I'm not saying people from other parts of the world are not like that, but there's this thing. But let me leave the African part. I love my African brothers and sisters. We're all Africans.
that.
But but yeah, when you talk about free Wi-Fi, there's a reason why it's free. It could be free because whoever that's giving the access just wants you to have a level of comfort in that place,
Mhm.
and feel and connect, because they all know that everybody likes to connect. Okay, and then it could be free for malicious reasons.
Yeah.
The source of the internet could actually be legit from a popular provider,
Yeah.
but every connection using your mobile phone goes through a medium, the internet. Okay, that medium, there's definitely a device that is making that connection possible so that you can connect to that free Wi-Fi. So the internet is up there, like we always describe, and then there's a device that picks up the internet and pushes it out as free internet.
Yeah.
Okay, without sounding very technical. So you that's connecting to that device, someone could be listening in on that conversation. It's very possible. How do they listen in? The device that's connecting the internet to you could actually be channeled to another device that is just viewing basically everything you're doing on the internet.
Mm.
Okay, so that is a form of attack. So someone could sit in the middle between you and the internet. So anything you're doing over the internet, the person is literally seeing it. But thank God there are technologies that are out now that could actually encrypt your transmission. Okay, when you're in some websites, they'll tell you, oh, okay, this website is HTTPS. So HTTPS means your normal internet, but with another encryption medium that now provides security. So at that level, we're a bit consoled, because even though we don't know whether there's someone in the middle that is listening in on our conversation, at least we know that the website that we are using is secured to an extent.
Mm.
So that gives us a little bit of security. But even at that, there's nothing that is not breakable on the internet. The internet is not 100% secure. So when you're on free Wi-Fi and you're, sending your WhatsApp messages, sending your email and all that, the people who actually want to extract data from that internet connection, can actually achieve what they want to do if they are really serious on doing that. And if you don't observe some of this cyber hygiene, like you rightly pointed out, knowing that a website that is not HTTPS, if you look at your address bar, you see HTTPS colon slash slash something, right? So that tells
Yeah.
you that website actually, at least it has a level of security attached to it. So when you're using the website, you can be a bit more confident that the website is secure. That's one of the ways. And then when you're using the internet, and because it's free, most of the security that should be configured on the internet, not on your web browser or anything, most of the security that should be configured on the internet is actually at the lowest level so that you can get the free internet access. So because it's free, a lot of the security that normally should be configured, like your password and all those things, it may actually not have a password. That means anybody with any form of any software, malicious software, can join on that internet and still take over or have access to what you're doing.
Okay.
So free internet is good, but the advice I want to give is when you're on free Wi-Fi, be careful of what you're accessing on the free Wi-Fi. That is just my advice. Don't access things that you know that are confidential. That's an advice I'll give for free Wi-Fi.
Okay. But you see the problem, right? Well said, though, Ike. Well said, like a cybersecurity consultant that you are. You know that at the end of the day, you're a gatesman, you're a security guy, you are Adamu, you are Malam, you're a cyber Malam. That's really what you are, cyber Malam, right? Cyber.
Yeah.
But please tell.
Well, you can call us that.
Tell our brethren this. Let our brethren know one thing. Number one, they don't bother to check. You just walk into some place, you see Wi-Fi, you jump on. Every single thing they do, I don't think the average person, Nigerian, for instance, apart from those that I know that are very pay attention to detail, I think a lot of people, every single thing that they do has the whole of themselves involved. So they're on Instagram, is the whole of their life that is on Instagram. They're on TikTok, is the whole of them that is on TikTok. And once you say, oh, please be mindful of what you're doing, the battery of the might well die because they don't know how naughty or so I'm just hoping that someone gets to understand that this is really, really very serious. Because there was something IK said that shook my heart. I'm not sure whether I misheard him or whether I'll have him say it again. IK said something that sounded like it so that he can either correct me or remove it. Said like we are truly not 100% safe. IK, I don't know if I heard you right, or I don't want to misquote you. But I got the impression, look, at the end of the day, after you have done everything, it's not like it's foolproof. It's not like it's 100% solid. You still have some leakages somewhere. That I might point to. Am I just fanning the flame of fear? What am I doing?
You're very much on point. Let me speak to that. Security, you can never have security or security on. Let me say, you can never have cyber security 100%. It's impossible. Everything that uses technology is breaking.
Wait, stop.
Everything that uses technology.
I can't wait now. That's my problem with this cybersecurity. Wait, you know that there's always a punchline that the world will remember you for. I want you to say that statement again because a lot of people, they need to know this. Please go ahead.
So what I said was everything that has to do with technology is breakable. So cybersecurity is never. You can't say, okay, because I have firewalls in my company, because I have encryption, because I have this, because I have that, it's 100% secure. That is impossible. So let me also mention something which I think will be very important to mention here. Do you know the weakest link in all this equation, all these things that we're talking about? Do you know the weakest link? The weakest link is not your password on your phone. The weakest link is not your firewall. I'm sorry, I'm using firewall. So basically, firewall is a device that's configured to protect access over your network from intruders. It's not the firewall. It's not all those big money you put into big company budget you put into protecting your infrastructure. The weakest link is me and you, the human being. We are the weakest link in this whole equation. We are the weakest link. How are we the weakest link? We can easily be maneuvered. We can easily be deceived. We can easily be be pointed in a direction that plays with our mind, that makes us to do certain things. So that's why I talked about social engineering earlier. Social engineering is one of the ways that most cyber attacks that we've seen in the world usually start from social engineering. That's where it usually starts from.
Wow.
The one that happened in the UK, I think in 2014 or 2013, I can't remember.
Yeah.
It emanated from a social engineering attack. So a lot of these things come from, if they really tell us the truth about some of these attacks on big organizations, you find out that it has to do with someone somewhere clicking what they are not supposed to click in their email while they're in the office network. And then from there, something creeps into the network and probably locks it down. It becomes a ransomware whereby they lock your system down. And for you to have access to it, you have to pay a certain amount of money. So these are some of the attacks that are seen on the internet. So it has to do with the weakest link, like I said, is the human being. But at the end of the day, it has to do with that cyber hygiene, like you pointed out. And I like the way you started with cyber hygiene. It's actually the mentality that we need to have.
I mean, truly said, like, and something that you said is very instructive for us. It starts with us. It's what we do. It's how we do it. It's also us that will use it for with malicious intent. It's us that will be not hygienic enough. You understand? It's also us that does things that, just because cybersecurity malam, it does not mean that your house will be broken into. The Malam has told you that now.
Exactly.
That your house can still be broken into, even if you have a site. But you had better have a Malam, because the cost of being absolutely vulnerable and absolutely exposed is too much for you to pay. You can't pay it. The cost of the identity theft, the cost of losing your hard-earned, have people having access to your monies, people having access to sensitive documents and data that are key to decisions or your positioning in the marketplace. And you have to think of all these things. So it goes beyond, it's a call to responsibility. It's one that's not your apathy, understanding, not your fear or running away from, but your embracing of what cybersecurity is about. But guess what, guys? So all of what we're talking about, right? There's more that is coming. IK has an event that's coming up sometime towards the end of the month. It's going to happen on the 25th of October. And I want IK to, conversation on and on and on. But I want you guys to be a part of that event. So IK is gonna tell us a bit about the event, and then we'll take it up from there. So IK, 25th of October, it's Saturday. It's a World Conference. So I mean, at the point you were considering whether it's going to be hybrid or not, but I mean, for the sake of those of you that cannot attend, if it was hybrid, it's virtual. But even if it was hybrid, there's still the virtual component that ensures that everybody has access to it. Here I am talking about it like I'm the one hosting it. IK, tell your markets.
Oh wow! Okay, thank you so much, AU. It's actually it's like you started off with, and I'm glad you mentioned that October every year is observed as Cybersecurity Awareness Month. So the expectation is that every day of the month, people should be reminded of how to keep themselves safe online. So that is what Cybersecurity Awareness Month is, and a lot of these activities, usually are put into October so that the awareness can actually make more sense. It's not like every day in the year is not important, but it's always good to have a time where there will be this drive about cyber awareness and all that. So I have a conference coming up on the 25th of October. So the idea behind the conference is to talk about cybersecurity and then discuss the intersection of cybersecurity with another very important aspect of our technology life today, which is artificial intelligence. So we are trying to look at how do these two areas actually come together. So that's what we want to look at. So the conference is on the 25th of October by 10:30 a.m., which is a Saturday. So I'm sure a lot of people won't have an excuse of work, hopefully. So we expect people to join in. It's a virtual event. We're looking at if people need it to be physical, we could actually make it a hybrid event. But so far, it's a virtual event. So the flyers are already out on the social media handles, going from LinkedIn all the way to Facebook, Twitter, and all of it. So that conference, some of the things that you'll be expecting in that conference is, you're going to get some practical cybersecurity skills, more like essential skills. We may not have a lot of time to discuss in detail, but you're going to be made aware of some of the skills in cybersecurity that you need to have. If you're thinking about going into cybersecurity, you shouldn't miss that conference. If you're also, concerned about some of the little things that you need to know, like we've been discussing in this conversation, some of the little things you need to know to keep yourself safe, to keep your organization safe, you should also not miss that event. So, like I also said, it's also going to talk about AI. So AI is we have a couple of speakers who are coming in to talk about AI as well. Then at the end of the day, we also want to see how we can bring both of these two giants, if I may put it that way, cybersecurity and AI. We want to look at a way to bring them together as something that is usable, workable. So we want to look at it from a business perspective, a workplace perspective. What do you need to know in the workplace to leverage these technologies? Okay, because they're actually very important. And so that is what the conference is all about. It's more of an awareness conference and more of like a guidance in terms of what you need to know about cybersecurity and AI. So I'm hoping that everybody listening will join in, share with your friends as well, tell them about it. 25th of October by 10:30 a.m. It promises to be very, very insightful.
So IK, where can they get the link to this? I need you to share your social media handles. I'd like you to also give them a guesstimation of how many hours is at what time is it likely to end, that they're going to be breaking, because you have let's give a bit of detail as regards the event so that I can prepare people for it. So again, social media handles so that they can look to I'm going to share it here on my handles, but I also want you to be able to talk about your handles as well, so that people can also go there and get all the information that they need to register and participate. Is it a education mandatory? Is it paid for? Is it freemium? All the details so that people know exactly what you're doing here.
Okay. I'll start with the content of the event. So we have amazing speakers coming in. I'm also going to speak, but we have amazing speakers coming in. So we have a speaker that's going to, like I mentioned earlier, someone that's going to really talk about AI, look at it from not just a very high level, but from a level whereby even a novice can actually understand what we're talking about. Then we have another speaker who's actually a professor in the UK who's joining us as well. So she's going to talk about AI as well as cybersecurity. Then we have another specialist who is someone very close to me. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's someone you know. I can guarantee you 100% you know this person, and he's going to be in. He's a professional in business. He's going to be in to talk about business and the workplace and how you can leverage technology in these places. So the person I'm talking about, is no one else but AU himself. The AU, Aniekan Usoroh, is going to be one of our speakers on that day. You're acting like you don't know the person.
Right. I am absolutely looking forward to it. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. Because again, let me then what IK is saying here. Not just It's not just one of those conferences. It's not just because this has been thoroughly curated. I know and understand. I've had a front row seat to how much of work has been put into it, to shaping this, to put this together, to determine what is actually needed, what is required for the right kind of measure of impact. All right, there are deliverables tied to this. So I really want to encourage everybody to be a part of this in every way that they can. And much more than that, I want this to go beyond just individuals, communities, because look, it's something that we all need. And if everybody in your space is safe and if everybody in your space is aware, then you will slowly begin to have a culture of great cyber hygiene. And when you have that culture, then new people that come into this will then adopt your culture. So it's very, very important. I tell people just the same thing as it goes with mentoring and everything. I tell people all the time that I mentor people for a very selfish reason. And every time I say this, people go arms in the air. What is going on? What do you mean by that? And I say because the more people I have thinking in a particular direction, the easier it is to move forward in that direction. If you're the only one pushing against the tide or pushing against a storm, it's difficult. But when you have people with like minds, like capabilities, heart, head, and hands doing the work with you, it's easier. In the same way, if we have people that have a culture of cybersecurity awareness, a culture of imbibing great cyber hygiene, then you're going to simply have better workspaces. You're going to have better cyber protection across board. You're going to literally have a culture of cybersecurity, and it becomes your new normal. But hey, I'm already talking like I'm in the conference. So hey, let's just pause there and just be a part of it. Be a part of it. It's highly recommended. Take it from me, Aniekan. It's highly recommended. And this is our personal invite, IK and myself, for you to be a part of it. So IK, back to you again. Is this paid for? Is it free? Is registration mandatory and compulsory? Or we can just bump into it on the set day, which is 25th of October. Let's have those fine details. And then remember also your social media handles, and we'll be able to take it there. Okay, so I can see your social media handles on the stuff. We'll be putting it out there as well. I see it in the private chat. We'll be putting it out there on the social media platforms. But IK, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of the event itself, again, it's a free event, completely free, no payment required. But one thing we require is just registration. So we need everyone to register. I'm also going to drop the registration link for the conference, so you can quickly just go there and register. I'm trying to get that, but it's a free event, so it holds from 10:30 to max 3 o'clock. So it's actually going to be a concise event, but we want it to be concise but to the point and cover everything that we need to cover, because we don't want it to stretch into a 2-day event or something like that. We want it to all be done in a day. But because of the speakers we have and all they're going to be talking about, and hopefully on that day, we're going to have a demo session where we are going to look at some AI tools and what you can do with them as well. So that's also an attraction. So we're bringing in some AI experts who are going to also do demo session. Because why I emphasize on AI is because AI is the future. Well, AI is no longer the future. AI is the now, actually.
It's
Let me not
now.
say the
It's
future,
now.
because
It's not the
it's the
future
now.
anymore.
So
Now.
everybody needs to get into this AI journey that we're in. So it's a passion of mine. I'm passionate about AI. So I also want people to get to know about AI and what we can do with it. So I don't know if I covered all your questions.
I think so. I think
I don't
so.
know
I
if I
think
covered.
the reason why I said it is so that everybody has enough information to be able to take a decision. So that if you're not there, it's not because you didn't know what to do, you didn't know how important it was, you didn't
Yeah.
know, what was required, and this is it. So based on that, we're going to put a curtain on our conversation today, so that you want to know more, you want to hear more, and you should want to hear more. You should want to hear more. be a part of it. It's virtual. You can join us from anywhere in the world. We already have people that have confirmed that are joining us from the United Kingdom. We have people that are already conversing with us, are going to be joining us from Canada. At least I know a couple of people from Canada that are already saying, you know what, I'm going to be a part of this. And they're looking for how to even, have broader conversations connecting what's happening here, the level of cybersecurity penetration in sub-Saharan Africa versus what's happening in the Americas, and the conversation is getting wider, and it's all stemming from this. I mean, it's amazing. Conference hasn't even held. People are already having pocket conversations on how we can even make this larger. So you really want to be a part of this in every way that you can, right? And so I just want to I want to indulge everybody. Do your best to be there. We're going to share the links on all our platforms individually and just get to be a part of it. Register, fill out the forms. It'll take you what, 30 seconds, 20 seconds to learn what can secure and
Very
protect you.
quick.
All right, just a few seconds. So you don't want to be late. This is not you. Obviously, you know that if you're even lazy or slothful, this is not even where you should be. So as much as possible, we want to have everybody keen on this. I look forward to seeing you on the 25th. IK, as they say at the end of every show, they say, "Oh, what are your final thoughts?" First of all, there are no final thoughts because this conversation is not over. So we
Yeah, it's
will
not
we will
over.
definitely, maybe after the conference, we will come back again to do a recap and a review of the conference, and then further our
Sure.
conversation. That's why it's called the Cybersecurity Conversation. They finish. It goes
You know
on.
they finished.
And on. But then again, there's something that you probably want to, some salient points you want to leave with folks today that will get their minds all engaged, even as they begin to plan towards the conference and keeping themselves, even beyond the conference, keeping themselves secure, having very good cyber hygiene. So let's just have your thoughts, even as we begin to wrap
Okay.
up.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much, AU, for the opportunity to be on the Connect. I've always been interested in the Connect, listening on all the conversations. So what I'll leave with our viewers today is that, like I said earlier, there's nothing that makes use of technology. There's no technology that is not breakable. Once you have that at the back of your mind, you just know that your phone is only as secure as you want it to be. So you can use all the passwords and fingerprint and whatever, but I want to also ask you, be mindful of what you do, especially online and most especially on social media, because social media is a way that this anybody can just have access to your social media, even if they don't connect to you, but they are seeing your profile unless you basically block your profile. And even if you block your profile, I can tell you that people have a way around getting things done on the internet. So be very careful about how you use the internet. Be mindful. I talked about going to websites that are secure. So look out for the HTTPS sign on every website you visit, even if it's not your banking website. Whatever you do, you know, every day data is generated, and part of that data that is generated globally, your data is inside. So what you do on the internet adds to the data that is generated. So be mindful of the information you put out there. Observe what you rightfully mentioned or what rightly said and called cyber hygiene. That's actually the term for it. Observe good cyber hygiene. And going towards the event, I can tell you that we're going to talk about quite a lot of other things in addition to what we talked about today in terms of keeping yourself safe, keeping yourself secure, and best practices. Okay, so looking forward to the event. I hope we can have a lot of you guys that are listening to us today on the event, and you will learn a lot. I can guarantee you that. But be safe, be mindful of what you put out there on the internet and on your social media, and at least you're going to reduce the risk of getting exposed to cyber attacks.
Awesome, 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 awesome. IK, thank you so very much.
Thank you as
Thank you
well.
so
Thank you so
very
much.
much. I am trying to. Okay, so if you notice, I am trying to put up the link on the tickler for all of us to see. Okay, so that's it. So if you look at the tickler there, you can see all handles that you can catch IK on. You can see access to the WhatsApp link. You can see registration details for the conference. You can see the YouTube, and this is for those joining virtually. You're going to be watching on multiple platforms. I believe IK, yeah, multiple platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn,
Yes, we
Facebook.
have YouTube, we have Facebook as well as LinkedIn. So you
All right.
can
So the
access on
so
any
the
of the
the
platforms.
modalities for working all of that out is ongoing right
Okay.
now, and that's
So
is just
can I
amazing. So
can I
everybody,
quickly speak to that in terms of
yeah, please go
getting
ahead.
access? So
Please go ahead.
basically, once you register, you're going to get an email with confirming your registration. And then one of the ways we want to make sure that people are informed and updated about every information, we have a WhatsApp group, a cybersecurity skills WhatsApp group, which we want to add everybody on, everybody that registered. The main purpose is so that we can use that to share information, especially as it has to do with the link to the conference. All the links, the YouTube link, the Facebook link, the LinkedIn link as well. So that once the event starts, you can click on any of those links and view it on any platform of your choice. So that's one of the ways. So the first thing you need to do is just register, and then we'll take it from there.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, IK. Everybody has the information
Thank you
in
so
run
much.
with that. It's been great having you. This conversation is not done. I can assure you of that. And we're looking forward to the successful conference. I can't wait to be a part of it. I'm deeply excited and honored to have been asked to speak, so that we can see how bring this home to our businesses and see how all of this connects with the things that we do. So we can have
Yeah.
secure businesses that can translate to more prosperous businesses that translates to increased wealth. We delivers increased impact. So understand the chain and why this is so important. It's been an amazing episode on the Connect I've had for the past 60 minutes or there about the conversation with Ozu, a seasoned cybersecurity malam. And it has been great sharing insights. Okay,
Oh,
I'm not getting
I
over.
can, I can, I can, I can imagine, how you got that word, Malam.
And we've been sharing some real deep insights as to, understanding what cybersecurity is, delving with the demonization of cybersecurity, quashing your apathy, and generating your interest towards it. Understanding that this is something that is necessary. This is something you have to be informed about, and seeing ways for you to be able to begin to develop a culture of good and fantastic cyber hygiene and much more, and so much more. And of course, we've also talked about the forthcoming Cyber Security Awareness Conference that is coming up on the 25th of October, running from
Yes,
about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or so to about
10:30.
1,
So by 10, the room should be
10:30.
open. So
Yeah,
anybody
by
is welcome.
10, the room will be open till a bit late in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
it's really been an amazing session. Really, really been one that I've thoroughly enjoyed. IK, we'll do this again surely. To everyone, have a super great week. Keep
Thank
winning,
you.
and we meet again next Sunday. Let's keep connected. Take care, everyone. God bless, and have a
Thank you,
super
everyone.
fantastic